Welcome back to this segment of the Open Season Exchange. My guest is Holly Schumann, the Principal Deputy Associate Director for Healthcare and Insurance at OPM. Holly, thanks again for being here.
Sure, thank you.
So I know we talked about this a little bit in the first half of the conversation, things like FSA and also that in conjunction with the rising premium rates for 2026. But I want to know is there more information or other types of strategies that enrollees can employ this open season to try to save some money for next year?
Sure. So one thing is, always look around at the full array of plans available to you, because in almost every case, there's a lower premium plan available to you. Now, you need to look at the benefits and coverage under that to determine whether that's the right plan for you. But there are certainly, in almost every case, lower cost options available. Secondly, once you're enrolled in a plan, a lot of folks don't know that there are a variety of tools available to them to actually help them understand what their healthcare costs may be for a particular service and actually shop around to get a better deal. So obviously, if you're suffering from an acute illness or injury, your first priority should be just to get the care as quickly as you can.
Right.
But a lot of times, we have advance notice on some services we need. Maybe we need to get an MRI, or we're going to be having, joint replacement surgery or something like that. Your carrier has tools available on their website to help you understand what service providers are in network and to estimate what the costs are likely to be for that service. And oftentimes you'll find that, the same service the cost of that service can vary widely depending on where you receive care. So it really is to your benefit to take the time to familiarize yourself with the tools that your health insurance carrier makes available. If you have trouble finding them on their website, give them a call and help them walk you through it to find where they are. But it really can be to your benefit and result in some significant savings to take the time to shop around in advance. The same is true for prescription drugs. All carriers have prescription drug lookup tools available on their website that will show you whether your drug is covered under the formulary for your plan, and also how much it's likely to cost you at a variety of pharmacies near you. So take the time to shop ahead when you can, and you can realize some really significant savings.
We go into the specifics of preventative services and preventative care. Is there anything that participants in both programs need to know about that?
Sure, thanks for asking that question. So we really want to make sure that folks understand that preventive services that are recommended by the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force with an A or B rating, which means that there's a lot of evidence to back up that they're effective, those services are available at no cost to the enrollee. So there's really, no cost barrier to getting things like well visits, cancer screenings, and so forth. You should also look to see if your plan offers wellness incentives. A lot of plans offer those. And they may actually, provide you some cash benefits that are available for you then to spend on qualified medical expenses to do things like take a health risk assessment or get one of those cancer screenings. So that's another way that folks can, take advantage of all of the benefits that their plan offers. It's also important for us, to realize that, accessing these preventive benefits also will help, ensure that our overall plans remain affordable going into the future, because maintaining your own health is a really important element of ensuring that these benefits can continue to be available for all of us. Another note on that, I'd like to note that tobacco cessation benefits are available under all plans, and so if folks are struggling with tobacco use, those benefits are available, and help is available for them if they want to try to quit. So really, the underlying message here is take advantage of all of the benefits of your plan, to maintain your health going forward.
And do you have any recommendations to enrollees to make sure that they aren't faced with any surprises or big changes during open season? What should they do to make sure that they are fully knowledgeable and aware of the open enrollment period?
Sure. So, the main thing again is I'd encourage you all to go to our website, because we just have so many resources available to folks, including our plan comparison tool for the FEHB program, as well as links to the PSHB enrollment site, the PSHB system, where folks can compare plans for the PSHB. I think it's also really important that folks, again, look at that plan brochure. And again, you can find the links to every single plan brochure on our website take a look at that page that says changes for 2026 so that you know what's coming in your plan. You know that whether there are going to be any changes to your out-of-pocket cost sharing for things like, visits to the doctor or emergency room visits, as well as any other changes in benefits or coverage under the plan.
Thank you. And if we can also just run through, just so enrollees are aware of the different types of plans that are available, for example, the difference between HMO or fee-for-service. What are the options that are really out there?
Sure. So we have some major categories of plans available. One is fee-for-service, and that's kind of the more traditional health plan, where there's typically a provider network where you will see lower cost sharing for services, but some out-of-network benefits are available under the plan. We also have HMOs, and usually those plans limit coverage for services to in-network providers unless it's an emergency. But, and there may or may not be a requirement for you to get a referral from a primary care provider to seek specialty care. So all of those specifics about those plans will be listed in the plan brochure, and you should carefully study those. But those are two of the major categories. And then the third is, high deductible health plans. And so that's a plan where, just as the name suggests, the deductible is higher, but that's also paired with a health savings account that allows you to set aside pre-tax money to be used for future healthcare expenses. And it's important to note that while the deductibles for those plans are higher, the carriers pass through some of your premium to your HSA. So in effect, kind of the net deductible is often lower than folks may realize. But if you go to our plan comparison tool on the website, you can see exactly how much the deductible is and how much your carrier will pass through to the HSA. So that's something that folks might want to learn more about as well.
And if I could ask too, I'm just kind of out of curiosity, OPM throughout open season, what does it look like behind the scenes to be working in the healthcare and insurance office? What are you all focused on, and how does that end up helping enrollees at the end of the day?
Sure. So right now, in the weeks leading up to open season, we are feverishly working to make sure that all of the information is available on the website, kind of crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's to make sure everything's ready to go. Then during open season, we do a number of things. One is, we really work with the carriers and our other customer service partners, our agency partners, to understand what they're hearing from enrollees so that we can make changes to the website, we can add information if needed to make sure that people get the information they need to make informed decisions. We also monitor, the web traffic to our site to see where people are, coming from and what information sources they are most interested in, so that we can, again, adapt as we're able during open season to make sure that folks get the information they need. And then, of course, after open season ends, we work closely with the carriers to make sure that all those folks who change plans get their ID cards and get all the information they need so that they can access services in a timely fashion once their new plan kicks in.
I've heard that some people can tend to procrastinate during open season. So why would you tell enrollees or people who are watching this to try to act sooner rather than later?
Thanks for that question, Drew. We do typically see a big surge of traffic on the last few days of open season, but I really encourage folks to take action earlier in a couple of ways. One is, take the time to study all of that information, and that's much easier to do if you're not waiting till the last minute and feeling pressure to make a decision. The second thing is that I want to make sure that folks take the time to try their login to enroll with all those websites, enrollment websites that we have. So for example, benefeds.gov, fsafeds.gov, the Postal Service Health Benefits System, or your agency self-service system if you're in FEHB. Because lots of times we use those systems only once a year, and maybe we forget our password, we forget our login. Don't wait to the last minute to see if your login works, because you want to make sure that you have time if you need to call customer service or have some issue logging into the website. You want to know that in advance. Particularly on the Postal Service Health Benefits System, we do have some enhanced security requirements in place this year. Most people who enrolled last year will be able to continue to use their same login and won't have to go through any additional identity verification. But some folks who didn't go through that process last year or folks who are new to the system will have to set that up through login.gov. And so I really encourage folks to take the time early in open season to go through that process to make sure everything works and it's smooth sailing for them.
So Holly, thank you so much for being here today again. I know we've covered a lot of ground. We've gotten a lot of good information, good recommendations from you. What would you want to leave as one final takeaway for our audience today?
Well, I know it can be daunting to make your way through all of this information about all of the benefit choices available to you, but it's really time well spent to make sure that you get the coverage that's right for you and for your family. We welcome the opportunity to serve you, and we always welcome feedback on how we can make things better in the future. So, again, take the time, make those decisions carefully, and we'll look forward to a successful open season.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Drew.
Today's guest is Holly Schumann, the Principal Deputy Associate Director for Healthcare and Insurance at OPM. I'm Drew Friedman, and you're watching Federal News Network. Now we're going to go back to the studio for more on our open season exchange.